Hello, hello. Good morning. Let me know when you're on. Make sure to say hello. I'm Teresa with Teresa Rene Art. Hello, Laurel. Hello, hello. Hope you guys are doing well. It has been a little while since I have seen you guys, but just wanted to try to get back into the swing of things. Hello, Sue. Hi, Jill. Hi, Linda. Thank you guys so much. It's good to be back. Yeah, so I pretty much took like the whole month of April was shot for me with vacations and going out to Utah with my husband's family and everything. And so finally kind of feeling creative again and trying to get back into the swing of things. Hello, Aracelis. Good morning, Tina. Thank you guys for popping on. I appreciate you so much. And what a nice welcome back. Thank you guys. So I did, I looked at May. It looks like May, for the most part, I should be able to, I think there may be one Saturday that I can't make it, but it looks like for the rest of the month, at least, I'll be able to join you guys. Today, we are going to be doing a DIY, a very decorative bottle. I want to share this creator with y'all. I don't know much about her. I follow her on Facebook. And I'm enthralled with her style. I'm going to share this with you guys. Her name is Michelle Butler Designs. And she doesn't do lives or anything like that, but she has like a line of things that she develops kind of almost in the vein of like Sid Dickens or something, where she creates pieces and then, kind of sells these bespoke pieces. And I just absolutely love her work. And I'm so inspired by her. So I'm using some of her work as creative inspiration. I'm not copying, but I'm definitely inspired by her. And there's a few things that I want to try. She does a lot of bottles with toppers. And I know Mara from Vintage Retail Therapy by Mara does that. I know a lot of creators who do that. I've seen Nicole from Nicole's Recycled Treasures do it. So I'm going to do one. It may actually, depending on how this goes, it may lead to like a collection or a series. There's some in particular that I just really love. I'm going to show you guys this, see if you can see this, but this is from Michelle from like an old Facebook post that she had from, and I had it saved on my phone, but it's this beautiful turquoise with gilded. So this is my inspiration for what I'm going to do today. And then she does just a lot of like themed work and shabby chic styles. So anyway, I'm going to try to pay homage to her. I don't know her. I've never even spoken to her, but I follow her, and I'm just, every time she posts something, I'm just like, oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. And we can do some of that with the materials that we have. Hello, Donna. Hi, Cindy. So anyway, let's turn the camera down. Let's go ahead and get started. We're not going to finish today. I'm going to tell you that right now because I haven't done any prep work. So what we're going to be doing today is just going to be working with clay and molds to get the foundation started. And then next week we will put the finishing touches on. So I got to remember how to work StreamYard. It's been around, like, how do I work this? Okay, so there's my setup here. Let's see how I'm looking in terms of, that looks pretty good. Not bad. Hey, Charlotte. I cleaned my craft room space, you guys, and it actually looks so good. But I made, like, I cleared out a bunch of stuff and I made a lot more room for painting. And it's so funny because, you know, where I used to have 3 or 4 mixed media projects going and scattered around the room at any time, now it's oil paintings. I have about 5 or 6 different oil paintings in various stages, but it's nice because it's like, whichever one I feel like working on, I can just grab the brushes and start painting. So my room is slowly being transformed. I am not giving up mixed media, but I've definitely started kind of gravitating more towards painting, and my studio space is definitely starting to look more like a painting studio versus a mixed media studio. But anyway, here we are. This is the bottle. I don't even know. I might have gotten it from Hobby Lobby or Goodwill or something, but all I've done to it is I've just taken the Pentart primer paste, and I took this little sponge, this little dauber sponge, and I've just pounced a layer of the primer paste on. I did it a couple days ago, so it's fully dry. It gives this surface a lot of, when you pounce it on like that with a sponge, it gives it a lot of surface texture, which is what I want for that kind of grungy turquoise patina look. You know, so this is a really good base to start with. And I love the primer paste. It's not as slick as the bonding primer. It dries a little bit faster. You know, I mean, both are equally important tools, but I love this primer paste in both black and white. This is the primer paste gesso. And you can find this with any of our Royal Court retailers. Retailers, if you guys are on, feel free to share your links this morning. I'm going to be using a lot of Pentart products this morning. So feel free to share your links so people know how to find you. We are going to be using a few molds. We're going to be using, of course, this gorgeous new mold from Decoupage Queen. This is the Crowns mold. If you don't have this one already, you really need to get it because it's just insanely beautiful. I designed it myself. So if you don't have this one, I definitely recommend getting this one. This is an oldie. This is a La Blanche mold. This one's sold out, but we may still have some retailers who have it. And I also know there are some retailers who will make castings of these for you. You could also use any other frames mold that kind of has an oval. But what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing this one with one of these crowns, probably this one in the center. And we're gonna start with putting that on here. And we're gonna be using Jovi clay. You can use any clay. You can also use resin, but we're gonna be using Jovi clay. This guy, y'all have seen me use this before. This is a little stabilizer that I got from Tracy with Scrappy's Rustics, which keeps your cylindrical project from rolling around on your table. All right, so let me get my cornstarch, you guys. Make sure I'm all set up here. I have a little bit of a cold. It is so good to see y'all. I'm loving seeing some familiar names and friends. Thank you guys so much for coming back and not forgetting about me. I know it's been a minute. I went through, y'all. I did a big purge. I got rid of several projects that I had started that I just know I'm not going to finish. Just tried to declutter my life a little bit. So it's nice to be in here because I was sort of feeling overwhelmed with all the stuff, you know. It's like when you go through some big life, you know, kind of big life changes, right? It's time to clear out some cobwebs and sort of start fresh. So I'm feeling re-energized and looking at things with a new lens. So I'm so happy to be back with y'all today and trying to do something a little bit fun. Well, Sue, I mean, you know what I mean is like most, you know, the family stuff and just kind of all that transition with my father-in-law's passing. And it's a, you know, it's a big responsibility for my husband too, because he's now trying to help my mother-in-law move forward and taking over her finances and stuff. So it's, you know, she's got dementia. So she's, you know, it's just like, it's sad to see some of those changes kind of taking place, and people that you've had, you know, lucid conversations with, and then slowly it's like they're repeating themselves, and it's just hard, you know. Oh, Aristoteles, you're so sweet. All right, so just been trying to really support him and kind of be there for him and take some of the, you know, he does with all that I do. My husband takes a lot of responsibility with the kids, and I'm so grateful to have somebody who's so helpful like that. But I've had to kind of help him sort of reclaim some of that back, you know, and sort of try to take some of that pressure off of him so he can help his mom and go visit her more often and stuff like that. So anyway, that's what I mean. It's just been a sort of a shift in the dynamics of our household. You know, my mom lives nearby. She's 78, and you know, in a few years we'll probably be experiencing some things with her. So it's an ebb and flow, right? It's an ebb and flow in the partnership. And I'm finding myself, you know, much more needed by the family stuff here. So anyway, it's all good. All good. All right. So I am going to pull this out and glue this on. I really do, so I could not ask for a better one, for sure. When I started the business, you know, 5 years ago, it's been good grief. He just really, like, he stepped up to help me, and, you know, realized that, like, I just couldn't do all the normal stuff. So he's been sort of taking all that and, you know, doing the birthday parties and doing the carpool and all the stuff. So, all right, I'm not going to glue that down yet until I get my crown, because the crown is going to go right in the center, but I don't know. I'm going to cast this one because I like this one a little bit better. So I'm just going to cast it and see if there's enough room for it to fit before I start gluing down. And I've got a little bit of a cold. I feel much better about it. Gosh, this week has been a little challenging with runny nose and all that fun stuff too. All right, so this crown, and then we'll put a lot of texture and stuff on here too, like some of the spackle and some of the cracking, some of the newer Pentart products, which I know are a little bit hard to find right now because they've been selling like crazy and we haven't been able to keep pace with the demand. We are going to place another order for some of the stuff, but okay. All right. So I'll take this crown off. Okay. So look, I think that's going to fit really beautifully right there. That looks great. So this is the LeBlanc frames mold, and then the Decoupage Queen crowns mold. Heavy body gel. Hello, Rachel. Thank you, Linda. Appreciate that. All right, so I'm going to stick this down. This is Heavy Body Gel. This is the, you could use either one, but I'm using the glossy. Either one would be fine, though. The matte would be just fine, too. My matte is dried up. I got to get some more. All right. So we may not go for very long today because like I got to configure my mold placement, and then there's not a lot I can do until this clay dries, you know? So, I mean, I can start putting some of the texture on, but I'm not going to be able to paint it and such until the clay dries. But I wanted y'all to see my thought process. I know I usually do a lot of prep work before I come on, but this time I really wanted you guys to sort of see my thought process with the layout of the molds too, because I'm kind of going for like balance and symmetry here, and I also want it to feel a little bit over the top, you know, like I want it to feel regal and majestic. All right, so I am going to add some more things to it to help give it that feel. You know, and so I'm making a choice too. I want to explain the choice that I'm making because I did pull out the resin thinking if I used resin, I could be done, like I could be done faster because I don't have to wait for the resin to dry before I can paint it, right? But I chose the clay because I love the really kind of organic imperfection that you get from the clay. Like see here where it's broken, right? That little crack there is actually going to probably widen as it dries, and it's going to leave an even bigger crack. And I actually want that. Like I want it to have this sort of vintage aged appearance that you just don't get from resin, right? When you get super clean lines. And I'm also, this is a little bit wide, so I'm trying to press this down some. So just wanted to kind of like go through my whole thought process with y'all versus doing so much in advance and then boom, being done. So we're going to just take our time. Yeah, an older distressed, it's got an older distressed look. Hello, David. Hello. Got David on. So David, you're going to be hearing a lot more about David. We're bringing on a creative sort of business mind, you guys. So I'm not quite ready to share all of the details with y'all about David yet, but David is going to allow me to be more creative and less businessy, if you will. Yeah, so Debbie, we felt that too. So there was a little bit of a tremor here as well. I was in the shower when it happened, and I did feel something, but not quite like what some of my neighbors were saying they felt. All right, so I'm going to take this one, and I'm going to, I want this little drop right here to kind of go right here and sort of point down symmetrically to the crown. So I want this, but I'm not sure that I'm going to use the entire length of this garland. We just have to get it on to see what it looks like. And we may have to cut and splice a little bit, which is fine. So let's get this going. Hello, Carol. Rachel, yeah, the one with the crowns. This one is Decoupage Queen. It's from our spring release. It is like, it's quickly become one of my absolute favorites, and I have to stop myself from now using it in every project. And retailers, if you guys have that crown mold, feel free to share your links so so Rachel can know how to find that. All right, so all right, you guys, let's bring this on. All right. So I have been working on our summer release, you guys. I'm not allowed to share too much. Terry's not on. She's not here to stop me, but I have been working on summer. I just got that out the door. So watch for some, watch us closely over the next month or so. We might have some new stuff to share with y'all. I want to talk for a minute, you guys, about sort of what's happening with the tariffs and the market and all this stuff right now. And you may be wondering, you know, with all of your favorite suppliers, how are the tariffs going to hit us, right? And if you're affected personally, if you have a business and you're affected personally by the tariffs, I don't mean by any stretch to minimize what you're going through, because I know it's a very difficult time right now for a lot of business owners. But what I want to say is that for us here at, you know, the Royal Court Brands, a lot of we actually don't source very much out of China, which is the biggest hit player right now is goods coming from China. So we don't really source, like, our molds come from Taiwan, which is not the same as China. But there is definitely an impact on the molds right now. And so, you know, we're going to have to navigate with mold releases what we're going to do there. It's definitely going to have an impact. But with everything else, our stencils are produced in the United States. So there's no tariff at all on our stencils. So the prices on stencils are going to stay the same. With our papers are sourced out of Europe. So Italy. So our partners in Italy, there have been, you know, tariffs imposed on that, but it hasn't been, you know, like, it hasn't stopped us from continuing to create and move forward. So there's, you know, we expect pricing on our papers to remain flat, you know, in the short term, and we'll continue to be able to bring those in, no problem. And then Poland, we have some suppliers in Poland, you guys. So, and then our Pentart comes from Europe, from Hungary. So yes, there are tariffs imposed, but they're not significant enough to, like, halt business, or, you know, it may change some of the ways that we do things, but we are safe and sound and secure, and we will continue to be able to bring you amazing products. So I just want everybody to kind of rest assured that we're going to continue to move forward, and our pricing will, you know, to the extent that we can. I mean, anything could change any day, right? But to the extent that we can, we're going to continue to, you know, not pass along the cost of those increases for now. That's all I can say. So, you know, everything it's so in flux, right? Like, everything changes daily with this stuff. But for now, it seems like it's going to be pretty much business as usual for us, with the possible exception. I mean, we're going to have to wait and see what happens with Asia and China and stuff on mold production. But that's not, you know, the molds are not they're not the main core of our business anyway, so it's not going to make or break anything. You guys love us for our papers, and we know that, and our Pentart. Okay, so I do like this, and then I may put like I may just sort of do this other swag in the middle here. So I'm liking the way this looks. And I've got this, I have that garland sort of pointing down right there. So I'm really liking how that's coming together. All right. So, and then if I lay that down though, I'm going to smush it. So let me put something here to prop that up some. And then I want to do something now that I'm seeing it. So sometimes you have to get it on there before you can complete the whole vision, so you can sort of see it coming together. Thank you, Sue. And so now I'm thinking it needs something kind of up in here, maybe a longer, some sort of long piece. And I'm trying to think what I have that could do the trick there. I'm going to have to think about that. And then maybe like a border mold down here, or, you know, like maybe what I could do is put, oh, I've got this. Look at this. So this is this little fleur-de-lis. I can put this right here and kind of extend that. Or I could do a smaller crown. So I could do one of these little crowns here. I'll cast both and we'll see which one we like better. Let's do both and we'll see which one we like better. So I'm just trying to take my time with this configuration and make sure that it looks the way that I want it. You know, and I probably pulled out 6 or 7 molds, not knowing which one I was going to use. I knew I wanted the frame with the crown, and then everything else was kind of like, let's just see how it evolves, right? There's also this little crown too on this mold, which is slightly bigger than the smaller ones here. And then I have some ideas for the topper, you guys. So let's talk about the topper for a minute. Is like, I was trying to think about how do I attach something to the top that's going to be secure and not come off. And I'm sure there are people and videos that could have shown me what to do, but I didn't necessarily want to copy someone else's idea without trying to think through the mechanics of it myself. So I started looking at, and there's not a lot, like there's nothing like pre-made that kind of helps you configure something like this. I think I'm going to go for this one. I think that's the right one there. I think that's perfect. So this is what I have, you guys. And I think that's pretty much, I think that's just enough, you guys. I think that's just enough. What do y'all think? I could maybe I think I'll do like maybe a small beaded border right around here, but I don't really think it needs too much else. And I actually think on the back, I think that's fine the way it is too. If I start feeling, you know, maybe tomorrow after my initial clay dries, if I start feeling like I want something else back here, I'll flip it over and I'll keep going. But this is going to be the main side. This is the side that is going to be displayed, if you will. So let's talk about the topper, because I want also this topper to come up, you know, kind of like in what I was showing y'all in my inspiration. See how she's got these beautiful, now I don't have any cross molds that are that ornate that I could do, but I do have these fleur-de-lis, and I've got this wing, but I'm actually going to use my bigger crown. So I could either use this one, which is the crest. I could use that as a topper, or I could use this bigger crown as a topper. And I think because this is a very regal emblem type thing, I think I'm just going to use the crown here. But I'll let y'all pick. Do you guys want the crest or the crown for the topper? And I haven't tried my topper technique, but we're going to do it live together so we can try to figure it out together. What do y'all think? Do you want the crest or the large crown for the topper? Crest. I got 1 vote for crest. I have 1 vote for crown. Crest. Either one is going to be fantastic. Okay, I've got, all right, you guys, I don't think so. I think it needs to be, see, like, look at hers. Look how large they are in comparison to the bottles, you guys. So, like, I think a little over the top is going to be ideal. Okay, you guys are saying crest, so we'll do the crest. All right, so let me set this aside, and we'll come back to it in a few minutes. All right, so what I am thinking, y'all, for the topper, I don't know if this is going to work. I have never tried this before, but based on everything that I know about resin and gravity in my mind, and hot glue, like I've got some hot glue, it should work. But what I'm thinking is I got these are like wine stoppers, y'all. And I got like a 6-pack of these on Amazon for about $5, and Sue could probably share a link. But what I wanted was something kind of ready-made. I didn't want to I didn't want to use cork because I wanted something stable. And I didn't want to fashion my own out of clay again because I wanted something kind of like sturdy and stable. So these are wine toppers, and I got this on Amazon, and it fits right in there, and it sort of puts that plug right in there. And then it has this little hole at the top. You can put a screw in there, and it'll screw on. I don't have a screw that size, so what I'm going to use this wooden dowel to kind of affix my crest to this wooden dowel, and we'll go from there. So I'm going to show you, we're going to now do the topper. We're going to see what we think. If it's a fail, you know, like, all I can say is at least we tried it, and I'm not too scared to try something live with y'all. Y'all know me, and you have seen me goof up plenty of times. This is not perfection. This is trial and error, right? So we're going to just try it, and we're going to see. So I'll talk you through what I do, and if it works, then boom, we have our technique. And probably, look, I mean, I know somebody has probably already engineered this and thought of a way to do this that is going to be, and maybe it's the same exact thing. I don't know. But like I said, I wanted to sort of think through it and engineer it. Because to me, like, the figuring out the process, I have a very inquisitive, sort of curious mind, right? And so it's like, I'm always going, what if we did this, right? And it's, like I said, it may not be the best way, but if I can figure it out and then I own it in my head, I can do what makes sense for me, right? So and thereby pass it along to you. So we are going to do this pressed. We're going to use resin. I am going to put my safety gear on, y'all. And my gloves. And I want y'all, I'm going to be using the Alumilite black resin. I want everybody here to absolutely 100% promise me that if you're using resin, that you will also use safety gear when using your resin. It is absolutely so important and so critical for your health that you take these precautions. It's just not worth the risk of exposing yourself to something harmful. So please, please, please use your safety gear. Okay, so pinky promise. Okay, y'all. I need you to type in pinky promise or something in there so I can have assurances that you guys are going to be following precautions. All right, so let me get myself set up here. I feel so organized today, you guys. Normally I'm a hot mess, but I am so organized. I'm going to blow my nose for a second. I'm going to hit mute. Thank you. Thank you guys I really appreciate you guys who are committing to using your safety precautions. This is what I have. So if you don't know if you want to understand better what I mean by that, this is a respirator, and you can get this on Amazon, and it filters out the organic vapors. This one is, I don't know, I'm just going to read some numbers here to you. It's 6001 CN. I don't have any idea what that means, but the nose part goes up here. I'm not going to show you all this. And then I've got nitrile gloves. So this is going to prevent the resin from getting into your skin. Yes, you do. Yeah, for sure. Catherine, it's so important. And I actually use gloves when I'm oil painting too. Okay. So hopefully you can still hear me. I know it's going to be a little bit muffled. And I've got the Alumilite resin. And where's my little topper? There it is. All right. So I'm going to just kind of measure how far down I need this to go. And then I'm going to mark it with a pencil. Okay, so I need at least that much room at the bottom when I seat this in here in order to get it to go into this hole. Okay, does that make sense, what I just did? Okay. And then I'm going to break this at the top. And I'm going to pour this resin and I'm going to seat this dowel. Can y'all hear me okay? I'm going to seat this dowel into the resin. All right. All right. And you guys who are sharing more, yes, this one has glasses too as well. But thank you guys for sharing. If you guys know more about the filters and the safety precautions, please share that stuff. I'm not an expert. I'm just doing, what I know to be, or what I feel to be appropriate. So I'm not an expert in any way on this, but some protection is certainly better than nothing. And I also have asthma. This is a wine stopper. Sue, were you able to find these on Amazon? this is like, I got it for, I think I got it like a 6-pack of these for $6. You can get these on Amazon, and it's a metal wine stopper, and it has this, like, it's got like a rubber seal in it. So it fits like right and snug down in there, you guys. So I got a 6-pack of these, but that's what this is. And Sue, I'm going to have Sue go out and search it on Amazon. She might be able to find it. All right, so let's get pouring. Oof. Oh, my stuff is coming out. Oh, please. All right. Thank you, Sue. All right. And I do have glasses. All right. So this is the resin I'm using. This is just black Alumilite casting resin. You could use white. It doesn't matter. All right. And I don't need that much. I'm just going to pour like this little one. And I'm going to do, I guess I'll do 80. So I'm going to pour it half and half. So I'm doing the black one to 40. You want to measure these exactly equally. And stir for 30 seconds. And I'll have enough to do a couple more, to do some of the crowns too. You don't want to waste your resin, so go ahead and, if you have extra, go ahead and use it. Okay. All right, so it's starting to set up a little bit. I'm going to use my dowel to push some of these tiny spots in. That looks pretty good. Sometimes you have to help it a little. Okay, so now I'm going to take my dowel and I'm going to try to, I'm going to just kind of seat this down in here. Sort of try to center it. Nope. All right. What I wanted to tell y'all, these wipes, you guys, are insanely awesome. Crocodile wipes. One of my teachers in my oil painting class told me about this. These are awesome, and every crafter needs to have these, you guys. All right, so let's clean our caps. One thing I do also is I mark the top of the cap with which one it goes on. So this is the B cap, so I don't mix up my caps. And this is the A cap. Because if you put the wrong cap on the wrong bottle, because it's a two-part hardener, you can risk sealing your caps on there permanently. All right. I'm going to turn my air purifier on. Okay. All right. So we're going to give this a few more minutes to start setting up. I'm just going to move this out of the way. And this one too, they look like they're getting there. All right. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grunge up the surface of my bottle a little bit with some texture paste, because I do want it to be a little bit grungy and textury. That looks like it's getting hard. It shouldn't take long. I'm a little off-centered here, but that's okay. Let's see. No, still too gooey. All right, let's start doing a little bit of texture while this is curing. Let's do some structure paste. This is Loft Spackle. Primer paint. We'll do this. This is for Conte powder. Yeah.
Here we go, structure plaster. And I can set this up now. All right. What are we doing here? Okay, we're gooey. It looks like it's congealing. We might be, maybe a few more minutes, y'all. I don't want to do it too soon. And I'm trying to get my materials ready because I'm going to have to do it one more time to cast the other side. And I want to do it live with y'all the whole way through. So for the texture, I'm going to be using structure plaster, brocante powder, loft spackle maybe. I don't know if I'm going to use this one or not. And then the cracking plaster primer with the cracking plaster. So these two. Hey, Molly. So I'm going to be putting some texture on the bottle as well. All right, let's see what we got. I'm ready. Okay. I want it to be a little soft. Okay, so I have one side. Look at that, you guys. Look how awesome. And that's going to fit right in. Look at that. And then we'll be able to hot glue that in there, y'all. So it's stable. So let's pour the other side. Because I want to show you how I'm going to sandwich it. So I don't need that much. I only need like 20. I'm only going to go up to the 1 and the 2 here. But I'm going to pour it and then I'm just going to sandwich this right on top. So the resin will do the trick. Does this make sense, you guys? Are you happy that I'm showing you this? One. Okay. Now let's. All right. Pour that guy in there. And this is just a bamboo skewer that you use to make kebabs. It's just a wooden skewer that I'm using. Okay. All right. So this is just going to go now directly over the top. Nice and careful. And we're going to try to line that up symmetrically so that they sort of join together as it starts to cure. All right? Boom. Yeah, wire would work. Okay. So let me get this. All right.
Karen, it would have if I was really careful not to over pour it. So I was trying to be super careful to pour just enough and not over pour it. All right. So we're going to move this off to the side. This guy's done. We don't need that. All right, y'all, let's look at some texture. And then we're going to just sort of break till next time. And then next time is when the magic will all come together. Always look at your molds from different angles so you can see if it's flush or if you have seepage that you need to deal with. So I'm just pressing down to make sure I don't have any gaps. All right. All right, so let's do some texture. Let's start with this one. This is structure plaster. It starts to harden in about 15 minutes, Molly, and then it's kind of fully set up in a couple of hours. It remains flexible up to about 20, 30 minutes, so you can move it around. All right, so I'm using structure plaster first, and I'm just going to kind of like scrape some of this structure plaster. I really love the consistency of it. I'm just going to kind of scrape this on the bottle. And then what I'm going to do with the crackle plaster is I'm actually going to do that over the top of the structure. And I think I'm just going to use this structure for now. And then I'll use the crackle plaster over the top once this is dry. Because I want to create some almost like a sort of stone look. Now, the thing about these products, they are similar to some of the other products that we have, but these products are actually designed to be used on furniture or larger scale pieces, and they're more stable vertically than some of the other products that are designed more for mixed media. So technically, like, you know, we have structure paste. Technically, the structure paste is more designed for the use that I'm using right now, which is on a bottle. But the structure plaster, which is what I'm actually using, is designed more for use on larger scale artworks or furniture pieces because it's a pretty heavy duty product, and it is going to it's going to work in the long. It's going to really hold up over time on a vertical surface, if that makes sense. What are the bits in it that cause the texture? I have no idea. I have no idea what's in there, Sue or Betty. I have no idea what's in there. But it's soft. Like it doesn't have like, I'm trying to describe it. It's kind of like it almost looks like icing, like a cake icing. It's soft. It's sort of soft and airy. And it's really easy to move around. Yes, it's the knife scraping against the bottle that you're hearing. All right. So I'm trying to leave it a little bit random, and I'm trying to leave plenty of texture behind. So I'm not trying to like smooth it necessarily, you know. I want it to be a little bit rough, speckled look. Betty, no, it's unfortunately none of the Pentart products are really meant for outdoors. I mean, rain and conditions over time are just going to deteriorate them. I mean, unless you don't care if it just continues to like get kind of really crusty and aged. But I worry about the integrity of some of the pieces falling off and etc. These are more decorative indoor pieces. just covering that nice and good. I'm going to get a paintbrush and dab inside there too. Oof. All right. Possibly Sue, but even that, I don't know. I just don't have that much experience with putting this stuff outside, so it's hard for me to say, you know. All I can say is try it at your own risk. All right. All right, so I'm just going to get a little paintbrush here and get in around some of this stuff here. And let's get some texture here behind this crown. So we might, this is quite thick, y'all, so I really need this to sort of dry on its own before I put the cracking on it. So maybe what we do is we end here and we let this dry on its own, and we pick back up next week with some, we'll do use the cracking plaster in some areas. We're not going to do it everywhere. We also need to, we're going to have to seal and then marry our topper together with it before we start painting as well. All right. So, thank you, Betty. Yeah, it's pretty thick, Betty. You really need a trowel or a palette knife. All right, let's pull this out and see what we have. Maybe we can take this guy to completion. All right, look at this. We have a beautiful crest sandwich, and it is fully sealed together. And that's going to go right in here, you guys. So I'm going to get some hot glue, and I'm going to stick that down in there. And that's going to be awesome. Let's get some hot glue. Because I'm gonna seal once this dries, and I need to do this offline, but I want to talk you through what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get some hot glue, and I'm gonna seat that down in there and kind of fix it permanently with the hot glue. And then I'm gonna do the same thing here, and I can't really touch it too much, but I am going to kind of cover this up with clay and seal that in with hot glue so it becomes permanent. I don't want this to be able to come in and out. I want it to be permanent. All right. So let's get the hot glue. And in the meantime, we can dry this a little bit so I can manipulate it some. It's going to take a while to dry. I also have, I've got some like junk gold chains and gold jewelry at the shop that I'm going to run by and get for like finishing touches. So we can like really zhuzh it up too with some of that stuff. Well, Lynn, you know what? You know, and that's what I was doing. I was cleaning up my craft room, and I have all these bottles, and I was thinking, okay, it's either time to use them or it's time to get rid of them. And so I had to make a choice. And so I said, okay, I'm going to use them. And so I was thinking what I could do is like do a series of them, kind of all in the same style, you know, because I really do enjoy, like, I love doing one-off pieces, but I love the aesthetic of like a series of coordinating pieces. And I've been doing that more and more with my oil paintings too, is like not just one kind of one-off painting, but a series, you know? So if I can do like 3 or 4 of something. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take, what is this? What happened to my little thing? Let's see here. All right, I'm just going to take, my thing won't allow me to go too far off. This is my Gorilla gun. It's not my normal glue gun. But I'm just going to take this and I'm going to hot glue in the center here. And then I'm just going to stick my dowel in there. And that's going to make it stable. This isn't my normal glue gun, so. Yes. Yeah. So hopefully this inspires you, because I haven't done bottles in a while. But I saw, like I told y'all, I saw that lady, Michelle Butler, and I was thinking, oh my gosh, I have so many bottles, and I love, love, love her style. So if you want some more creative inspiration, you guys definitely follow her. It's Michelle Butler Designs. And I just love the work that she does. So I don't want to copy her outright, but I definitely don't mind using, taking some inspiration. All right, so now what I'm going to do, am I dry enough to, I'm not dry enough to lay this flat, y'all, but I'm dry enough to at least kind of show y'all. I'm just going to take this and I'm going to put some glue around this part here. And then I'm going to seat this down in here. So that it sort of becomes permanent. And then what I'm going to do, y'all, I'm going to do this offline, because I'm not going to have time to finish it and do this too next time. But I'm going to take some trim, y'all, and this is all going to be covered and it's going to look uniform. So I'll take this spackle and I'll finish this off. So you won't even be able to see this silver part, and make it, kind of make it, marry it all together, if that makes sense. Okay, you guys, so that's where we're going today. We're going to stop for now, and then we'll come back next week and we will finish our masterpiece. So I am so happy that technique with the topper worked out, you guys. I'm like just thrilled. It's opening up so many more possibilities for bottles now for me. And now, like, there's fleur-de-lis molds and just so many molds that you can use with that. Like, even this crown topper done in that little sandwich would be awesome. But so many ideas now, you guys. So thank y'all for joining me, and I will see you back here next week, same time, same place. And let me just change my camera view so I can say goodbye to you guys. So thank you guys so much again. Welcome. It's always nice, like when you have a break like this and you come back, you just seem like, okay, like the creativity is flowing again, and you can kind of come back re-energized and stuff. So I highly recommend take your vacations, take your downtime. It's okay to stop for a while and hit the reset button, clear out the cobwebs, and then come back energized and refreshed. So that's what I did. Hopefully I can ride this creativity train for a while. We'll see. Every creator goes through it. We have peaks and valleys. So everybody I know, this is just the life of creative people. All right, you guys, take care. I'll see you back next week. And thanks again for being here. All right. Bye-bye.